So I have to verify that you qualify. So let me ask a couple questions and make sure that you do. And if you do, I'm going to give you a Chase stamp pre-qualification. I would fucking call it that. I would say a Chase stamped pre-qualification. Now you created value over that pre-qualification. But after you give them that pre-qualification, the key thing is that, again, you bring them to a climatic state. You say, and so when you engage with them, what's the common reason why they don't move forward?
Just, their agent said, hey, this other lender has better rates.
Okay, so it's after the fact, right? They're cool to do the income document stip submission. They're cool to go throughout the process. But the problem is when they're shopping, they get influenced by their realtor. So what you have to do is you got to be proactive on the front end. And what that means is you got to let them know and say, and you have to be very selective with when you release this information, meaning you have to wait until they're at a point of gratitude, and you'll know they're at a point of gratitude because what they'll sound like is like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. I appreciate it. Or thank you so much, Gabby. This was super easy. Right? Where they're at a point of gratitude. You get what I'm saying? The second that they are in that mode or in that state is when you need to move in with two things. Number one is a disclosure and then a referral. So let's say I prepped you and I got you a pre-approval. In between, I'm also letting you know the value of our pre-approval. Meaning, since the pre-approval will have the Chase stamp on it, the Chase brand, it's looked at as good as cash. So it's a little bit different from getting a pre-approval or pre-qualification from any other lender that's not Chase, because it gives you weight or it gives you strength at the time that you put in an offer. And here's the reason, is because we do our homework up front, not only to protect you as our client, but more importantly, we want to make sure that you are protected so that you're not looking at houses that are beyond your affordability or something that you can't get approved for. So it's actually helping protect you so you're not wasting your time. But the key thing is though, is that we don't just give out pre-qualifications, right? So I have to verify that you qualify. So let me ask a couple questions and make sure that you do. And if you do, I'm gonna give you a Chase stamp pre-qualification. I would call it that. I would say a Chase stamped pre-qualification. Now you created value over that pre-qualification. But after you give them that pre-qualification, the key thing is that, again, you bring them to a climatic state. You say, hey, Gabby, I got great news. I just got an approval from my manager to get you into this campaign. Thank God, because it expired. But because we got you in this campaign, this is going to help you tremendously, not only right now, but years to come. Your next transaction, your future transactions. Anyway, I got you an approval, and so I'm going to send you your pre-qualification so you can start shopping now before the prices go up. And because the market is at a point where it's more of a bidding war, you need the Chase stamp on that pre-qualification. You see, there are other lenders that can give you a pre-qualification, but the seller agent and the seller look at that as far as the legitimacy, the validity of that offer. And so here's where we shine. Is when we put the Chase stamp on it, it's pretty much looked at as as good as cash. So it puts you at the top. And the reason why our clients prefer our pre-qualifications is because they don't want to be outbid by all cash investors. And that's where we specialize. So when I release this to you, treat it like gold, but at the same time, know this, is that your realtor may very well refer you to their own preferred lender because they get incentivized by more commission. And what that means is they get paid more, but you get a little bit of a deal that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. And I'm not saying your realtor will do that, but just keep that in mind. Now that I'm gonna release this to you, it's very, very important to understand a few things. Number one is the market changes every day. So if you talk to another loan officer, another lender in a week from now, even in a couple of days from now, the market very well may have changed. So here's the thing is that because you're a client of Chase, you are entitled to certain incentives that no one else is entitled to. And the only way we could activate it is once you get into escrow. So the moment you get into escrow, call me. if you so happen to get a solicitation or a quote from another lender, contact me, because I need to protect your seat on this campaign and ensure that you're updated with the incentives real time, because I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be a call away from you. So if the market improves or the market changes or some other lender says that they could do this, keep in mind is that we all go to the same place. That lender goes to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac just like I do. We go to FHA or VA just like they do. But what they don't have is the weight of Chase, the strength of our stamp. And another thing is that they don't have the incentives that you're already entitled to because you're an existing client. But you're telling them this at a point where their dopamine's high, so they feel like reciprocity. But the key thing is that when you get this traffic and when you get these calls, you have to treat it as if you don't need it or as if you don't want it, while at the same time, you're discovering that they could have missed an opportunity and you're going to try to give them access to that. So now it's like, oh, I called at the right time. She don't give a fuck if I'm going to use her or not. I could tell off her tonality, right? Mm-hmm. And the tonality is like, yeah, let me see if I can help you. If I can, I'm going to show you what we could do. And if not, I'll point you in the right direction. And the reason why we're so strict is because with our clients, we protect you. And we're not just going to give you what's called in the industry a soft pre-qualification. And the reason why that's important to know is because when you make an offer, these seller agents and the seller realtor or the sellers, they understand the weight of the offer based on whether or not you're pre-qualified or pre-approved. So now you're giving them inside information and say, the only reason why you would use me is because of our reputation as Chase. So our pre-qualifications are as good as cash. It's basically stating that we can get this done.